This is our first assignment in Photoshop for 2023-2024 Multimedia 1. For the Multimedia 2 students that are in first period, think of it not as, hey, we're doing the same thing. Think of it as a refresh, and you guys could push for day 1 to really push it forward, okay? Remember, the 5 minimum concept counts. This right here is not the demos. I'm talking like your stuff that you create with your subject matter is what I'm looking for, okay? I've given you some stuff here, so just keep that in mind. You could use all that. Uh, there really isn't a YouTube video yet for this particular project. Other projects will also include YouTube videos that are there for you guys at your discretion, so just keep that in mind. All right, so the very first thing when you do is you go to Photoshop. Okay, so Photoshop is pretty much our introductory program into the Adobe suites, the Adobe programs basically, okay? If you notice, mine is pretty much empty. If you ever have a dialog box that says you need to pay for the subscription, etc., 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 go up here, and what you're going to do is you're going to log out of the Adobe account. I'll have another video that shows you what to do with that. It'll be uploaded into a separate folder for what ifs. I'll also attach it to this assignment too. Okay, so right here, you have new file, open, etc. Always go new file. Then here, make sure it's 15 by 15 inches. 72 resolution, pixels, RGB color, 8-bit white, don't color manage square. If you notice, after a while, they will keep the templates here, so you could just click that one quickly, okay? All right, so a couple things. When you first log into Photoshop, your Photoshop should look like this, okay? If it looks like this, see these little tabs over here? These open stuff. Okay, so the biggest thing that I could say that you need open is if you go up to File, you have File, Edit, Image, etc., Window, okay? When you go to Windows, just make sure you have your layers selected for now, okay? Arrange, don't worry about that, but Workspace. Always make sure it's on Essentials, okay? You have your toolbar on this side, you have your color selection there. Everything's good. If something doesn't look right, like let's say the layers are off. Oh no, what do I do? Oh no, what do I do? Go to Windows, go to Layers. Okay, that's what you turn on. If you notice the layer is black and white, it's locked. Visibility, well, we can't turn that off yet. Let me turn that off. See how it goes from you can see the white screen to not at all. Okay, I could lock it again. You can't do that when it's locked. Oh, wait, you can. Okay, it wasn't letting me do that earlier. This is the mask tool. We'll play with that in a second. Create new file or adjustment layer and add a layer. So if you need to add a layer, say how it adds a layer, or delete a layer. Do I want to delete the layer? Yes. The FX is when we start playing with other stuff. But for now, this is what we have. This is our canvas. It's 15 by 15. Make sure all your projects follow the size guide. I won't change the size parameter until you're very comfortable with the size and understanding that. So maybe October, November. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go File, Open. I have my desktop here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up this wolf. Open. Okay. So I got this open. Then I'm going to open up my background. Whatever I put as the background, I saw one of these earlier. I'm going to open that one. That's my background, okay? So keep in mind, how do I select everything? Press Control plus A. Control A. Then Control C. And I go over here and press Control V. Control T makes it smaller. Look how huge this image is. This is good quality because when you shrink it down, it keeps the quality. If you make it bigger, it gets blurry. So I always say make it bigger rather, like always try to get your image bigger rather than smaller, okay? So for this one, I'm just going to put it right there. It's got a good size parameter. If I wanted it to fit in there, I'm still in the transform screen. So I could right click and press distort. I could pull these anchor points in, but I don't want to do that. Okay. So I'm going to press the check mark or press enter. Okay, so that's my background. So I don't need that open anymore. Got my wolf. I'm going to press Control A, Control C, Control V. Have my wolf. Press Control T, make him a little bit bigger. That's okay. Okay, there's my wolf. Press enter. How do I know if you have the right size parameter. I gave you a wolf that is not 15 by 15. I did that on purpose. Okay, for two reasons. One, to illustrate the point of the size parameter, getting you guys comfortable with it. Two, because if you turn it in and it's perfectly sized, I know it's not 15 by 15. Okay, so with this one, remember how I said selection tool is going to be what we're working on? You have the rectangle selection tool, so if I want to select that there, so if I want to commit to that, I then go to my move tool and I can move that selection. If I don't want to do that, press Control Z. Okay. So let's say I don't want to do that. See how over here it's the plus sign and here's the uh, select tool? I can then deselect it, okay? So I got a few options there for sizes. The other thing is you have your lasso tool underneath. So I have my magnetic lasso. This is how I used to do it in the early 2000s. And the magnetic lasso, as long as the colors are different, you could go between them and it'll be like a magnet. It'll put the line on there, okay? Keep in mind, this does take time, but it is a good tool to have and to practice. But if you notice, it doesn't get all the fur properly, okay? And it really does take some time and some effort, and you really got to just be on top of the clicks. So keep in mind, sometimes this works brilliant, other times it doesn't, okay? So if you notice, I could do the whole thing with the magnetic lasso tool, but I missed a lot of spots. Okay, so what do? Well, I don't go to the polygonal tool. I'm just resetting my toolbar. What I want to do is keep you guys in mind that this program was created by artists for artists. Okay, so I go up to image. I'm not going to make any adjustments to the image. I'm not going to really play with the layer. But what I'm going to do is go up to select. So remember, this week we're all about select. So when you pull up and select, remember this program is not designed to trick you. So if I go down to subject, remember you guys have control over your subject matter. So it's going to basically make the selection of the subject. Maybe you have a sky you want to select, maybe a focus point. This one I don't really use. Color range, same thing, but subject. See how it has that little wheel going? So look at that. It gets all that hair, okay? It gets everything selected. Now I can move the wolf and be like, ooh, look at that. But let's work smarter, okay? So I got them selected. I got them selected. I can mask it. And what that tells the computer is, see how it's a white box with a black circle? Think of black and white. Black takes it away, white keeps it, okay? So this will tell the mask to take away everything except the wolf. See? So basically right there, it makes the outer area black, the inner area white. Okay. So let me press Control Z. See how it's selected? Now, say I want just the interior gone. Press Delete. I actually kind of like this one a little bit more just because it's like, ooh, okay. Now, with this, I can move the background around my move tool. Maybe I want the trees kind of right there. Then what I'm going to do is just go up here, just select this on the background layer, have it selected, and then I'm going to mask it. So then it gives it that nice little border there, okay? With that, I can then press Apply Layer Mask. That's applied, or keep in mind, see this little chain? That locks this into position. This is the mask layer, this is the picture layer. So on the picture layer, I can move the picture around and see how now it has a mask top and bottom, okay? So now I could really have some freedom with it. I could also come over here and angle it. Maybe I want, ooh, I kind of like that. The tree looks like an eyeball now, you know. So right about there is nice. I did choose a background that has a very similar sky. So that's something you got to be mindful of. I could also relock it or unlock it. And then I could also go over here and apply layer mask. By right clicking on it, apply layer mask. Okay. Now, if I was going to turn this in, because I want to keep my video under 40 minutes, so this is the demo in a nutshell. Okay, this is what we're doing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go layer, because see how I have many layers? I got to flatten the layers. Okay. Don't need this wolf over here. I could close it. Now what I'm going to do is go File, Save As. On your computer, desktop. Here, I'm going to put name, first, last. I'm going to title it Wolf Demo, or whatever you want to title it. First time. Anything you want. So I'm going to press Save. Okay. Okay. Then I'm going to close it. There is my wolf. Okay. Then what I'm going to do until I make my own selections, I'm going to attach it to the assignment and turn it in. Okay. We'll keep demoing all week on these tools and slowly progress and add other stuff in the demos. Okay.